Picture this, you're having fun on your personal computer, doing whatever it is that you're doing, when out of nowhere.
こんにちは。現在ご用中の Windows は旧バージョンのようです。今すぐアップデートを実行しますか？
What?
おめでとうございます。Windows 11のご選択。
This is exactly what happened to me. How do you blue screen on a virtual machine? This whole situation made me think, has every digital good become so bad, cringe, and gay? Or are they all advanced forms of blackmail? Turns out, you're not getting the Epstein list because Bill Gates threatened to release Windows 12. And because this phenomenon includes games, and that's basically all I cover, I figured I would test that theory out by revisiting as many games as I could remember from a past so distant, it would make you realize 2010 was 15 years ago. Are the glasses rose-tainted? Or was the gay part just me? And in case you're wondering, yes, this entire video was made on the the superior Linus Torvald operating system. I use Argent, by the way.
They call me Sonny. I'd like to tell you more about myself, but I can't.
I may be blind, but I'll recognize that ugly face anywhere. Wake up, PlayStation! Really? A console? Of all the ones you could have named me, it had to be the one with no games! I would even mind Sega to be fair. There's no time to waste. I have to explain you how the game works before I die in 14.5 seconds.
How do you know that?
In a combat situation, you must wait for your turn to act. When prompted, click on one of the funny icons surrounding you or the enemies.
Wait, so we're taking turns at beating the shit out of each other?
That changed about. Oh right, gameless. I forgot to tell you something. I'm just a blood device. Here. Take this.
Tape of all things, why?
You'll find out once you take it. Are you motherfucker? Sonny is what you may call a miracle of its time. At its core, Sonny is a turn-based RPG where you have to fight guilds, build up your gear, teams guild to gear strive, and uncover the mystery of this tape and your condition. Is this really my mission? The equation and addition? Or just my cognition acting up, tapeworms edition? The game has a full skill tree with different abilities, itemization for both you and your teammates, a save system, and a whole map. You may not find this impressive, but may I remind you, this is a Flash game. That's like making a game on Unreal Engine 5 that runs well. Some fights are simple, but you can view most of them as puzzles you need to solve using different gear and abilities instead of just being dumb stat checks. It even has cinematics with a full narrative and voice acting. Of course, the first game wasn't without its issues. Not much content, endgame stage is just Path of Exile on steroids, too many reused icons for debuffs, friendly AI... anything. But the game has a sequel, which is better in every single way. You might say that's the point of a sequel, but AAAs will disagree.
Hey, Veradux? What a stupid name. I don't know anything about it.
We've met a couple of days ago and I noticed something.
Yeah, what is it? You look financially stable. What?
Got your tape pretty big.
The sequel has 3 skill trees, way more stages, a better difficulty system where the last one even puts a timer on your actions, and you can now change how your allies act in the middle of the fight. And may I remind you, this is a free Flash game. The fact that this game came out coded on actual hazard in 2008 and still runs better and has more content than most AAA since 2022 is
Getting that tape.
either impressive or very depressing, whichever one floats your boat. S-tier. Have you ever looked at modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And thought, nah, I ain't reading all that? Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories is the exact opposite. No need to have a PhD in Anglo-Technics or 3,000 hours in Path of Exile. Attack is attack, defense is defense. You mix cards together to make stronger ones. How do you know which ones mix with which? You queue all the cards together and relocate to the local church for the day because you'll be doing a lot of praying, I guarantee it. Then after 8 hours of not getting Meteor Dragon, you hopefully remember like 1 or 2. And that's it. No graveyards, no banish zones, shadow duels, alphabet soup, monster spell hybrids, whatever the fuck that is. Just a game with so much beginner RNG, it makes the most avid r/atheism user to roll with Bibles. You have a campaign mode which rewards semi-random cards, and a free duel mode where each enemy has a dedicated drop pool. Yes, they added farming to a card game, don't tell your mother. This essentially is a perfect example of how adding complexity to something does not necessarily give it more depth. wouldn't know anything about it. And if you ever mastered the game and remember all of its combinations, there's like 50 different mods that all change the game completely. You're not getting out of there. S tier. It's quite sad to say that there are more games in the world that you can no longer play than those that you can, which is a fact I just made up. But in the world of abandonware is a sea full of the digital play, like Captain Claw for example. Shit can't run on anything newer than Windows 3.1, so the only way you can play it on the modern equivalent of digital war crimes is through aggressive compatibility layers that look like this. Yes, that's almost 30 antiviruses falsely thinking it's malware. Or at least falsely, I hope. If this channel starts shilling Bezos shitcoins, you know what happened. Captain Claw has got to be one of the most rewarding and coolest platformers of all time.
Hey, big boy.
And that's despite the fact that the game is older than Gen Z.
At least bring me something back from the kitchen.
Also, it was developed by Monolith. Yes, this Monolith. And Claw was voiced by Minos Prime. Yes, from Ultrakill. You play the game as Captain Claw, who's a captain with claws, captured by filthy dogs, literal. You happen to find a secret note about an amulet that makes you immortal. So like any logically thinking adult, you believe it without question and begin the search for the immortality amulet. Now, this game is difficult. Like, stupidly difficult. From Software gotta take notes. Nameless King, more like Nameless Irrelevant. Millennia, more like Midlania. Not to mention pixel perfect jumps, unforgiving enemy placement, instant death traps, and safe to say, this game doesn't hold your hand and lets you figure things out for yourself instead of treating you like a Fortnite. Period. So if you like difficult games and you truly want to feel rage like you've never felt before, then this game will satisfy you for the next of all of your lifetimes combined. Buddha's already claiming Stolen Valor. Peak tier. Have you ever played a puzzle game and thought, this needs more of me torturing the neighbor and his close relatives? But he's literally me. Neighbours from Hell is a game where you play as Woody, who dislikes the neighbor's family for being assholes and for casual animal neglect. So you do the next logical thing by escalating it to competitive animal cruelty. The goal is to prank your neighbor as many times as possible without getting caught. Force of habit. Puzzle games aren't that popular nowadays. Candy Crush doesn't count. But compared to casual games from today, this game's sense of humor is, dare I say, daring. I mean, you're breaking into your neighbor's house. Can you imagine a modern game like the... You have a minimum amount of pranks you have to pull, after which you can either bail or deliver maximum damage, with the additional ones usually requiring more brain power to pull. But Neighbours from Hell is E for everyone, meaning the neighbor's fatality resistance equals that of a shonen protagonist. And because lethal doses of is just a prank bro don't work adequately on the neighbor, you stalk him on his vacation to try your luck on his loved ones. E for everyone. Puzzles are creative. Art is great, but the game gets very repetitive towards the end. A tier. I still remember the comma glitch. My brain is a machine designed exclusively to remember useless information perfectly. Lipstick contains fish scales. You're welcome, late boys. This game has to be the most iconic turn-based flash game ever, and for good reason, mainly the comma glitch. It has a lot of sequels, but the most iconic ones are 2 and 3, where 2's most overpowered build is and 3 allows you to sell items from shops that you haven't bought. A man can only dream of tax loopholes like these. You have multiple builds, most of which are unplayable, so it's not that much different from today. Sword and Sandals 2 has 18 bosses, and the third one has an insane 24, with non-boss encounters, all having randomly generated builds. So no one playthrough is the same, which I can't say for modern titles now, can I? Also, can we talk about this banker soundtrack? But in the end, this is the kind of game that you have to play to get it. In theory, it's extremely boring, but once you try it, you'll be asking where did the 8 hours that you were supposed to waste on YouTube go? I hope the assignment isn't due tomorrow. S tier. Now, the next one I've already covered on my channel, but this isn't a games I didn't cover tier list, this is a spontaneous tier list to Existential Crisis 2 while ranked competitive running cyclist silver. Speaking of which, I have the ability to identify every single person that played this game. How? Well, dear viewer, I can hear your rusty bones through the computer screen. Ignoring the fact that this game is old enough to drink and drive, in that order. Most Wanted features things like a blacklist before races in my school, cop chases that will have you at the edge of your... I hate modern English. And the most memorable car in the entire universe. Even if you haven't played Most Wanted, I guarantee you've seen it. All this to say that I have yet to see a single racing game that surpasses this one. Anyway, go watch my video on it. TLDR, I hate Harry's. Tournez dans le vide. Peak tier. I initially wanted to quickly include this game because I remember enjoying it. Then I realized how fucking massive it is. What do you mean that has wings?
Why does this concern me? Man of no words, your brother.
His voice is the ring of the hammer and the roar of the white flame.
Yes, he works while you talk.
So, yeah, game is a massive RPG, and you're playing as the coolest of the four horsemen. Weapon combos, unique weapons with actually unique effects, and it holds up graphically despite being 13 years old. And I decided that I will make a full video on Darksiders in the future, but if you want the TLDR, this game is essentially Zelda for grown-up. No, it's not for Roblox players, is what I meant to say. Peak tier.
Not another one.
Yes, Call of Duty. For the people born after the end of the world, this used to be a good franchise, believe it or not. Specifically, I'm talking about the campaigns and bonus modes. I've already covered Infinite Warfare's campaign, which is goated. Watch the video. But there's also Call of Duty Peak Warfare, the original one, Zombies from Black Ops 2 and 3, and the most underrated, Extinction. When you think bosses in Call of Duty, you might think slightly oversized mechas or atheists. So how about a minigun scorpion the size of a cathedral and a kraken whose breath would put a giant hole in the ozone layer? No, he's not a render farm for Brock. Peak tier. This one I just want to understand. So did I or did I not kill myself? I mean, the OST speaks for itself. Also, the main villain of the series is called Sigma. I'm not making this up. He's literally... Megaman X is about killing Dr. Willy's. The Japanese and their fucking names. This game is about killing Dr. Willy's sex robots because you're a traditional man who thinks they should wait until marriage before earning money the easy way. There are 8 bosses in every game, which you have to reach by going through their stage that was specifically designed to piss you off. Yes, you the player. It's also the kind of game where you make your own difficulty. Kind of. Every boss has a weakness weapon, which you earn by defeating other bosses, rendering the fights essentially trivial. Or you could kill them in random order and hate every second of it. The world is your oyster. But you might be asking, how do you find out the correct order of killing bosses? Well, that is a very good question. Every stage has multiple secrets, super secrets that literally one-shot bosses, and 0. Name me a single video game character from recent times that looks as memorably stupid as him. He is literally not me. Now, the game could have been peak tier, but it isn't without its issues. The main issue being level design. What the fuck is this? Can we not do instant death traps and unforgiving enemy plays? Oh, and some bosses are... Yeah. Still, there's like 20 entries in this franchise, so you're not running out anytime soon. Isn't that right, Gearbox? S tier. Nitro Family is... something, let me tell you. Gotcha, man. It's a first-person shooter where you play as Vladimir Chapsky. I swear I couldn't come up with something as stereotypical if I fucking tried. And it features linear testosterone metal gameplay. For example, akimbo rocket launchers, shotguns, miniguns, a mix of all 3, your wife included. But wait, there are 5 nuclear-grade super weapons that happen to be sitting in your pockets as well. Each weighing more than 2 M202 flashes fully loaded with M235 incendiary TPAs. For my American viewers, that's at least 120 Big Macs. Nitro Family has a considerable amount of minigames as well, which are actually playable and fun. I'd say I'm kind of tired of effortlessly shitting on AAAs by now, but don't feel like lying today. A storyline of your son getting kidnapped by the Russian mafia because he's very special, just like you are. And it even has voice acting.
Hunting down your target, Mr. Shopsky.
Voice. There's also a combo system, but I have to mute the audio or this video will get removed for adult content. Now, the game has a lot of racist jokes. and stereotypes, the magnitude of which you would only find on a purely based video. Despite that, I will have to put it in A tier.
I love how it plays the eating animation despite the fact that I'm taking armor.
The game overstays its welcome, especially in the final levels where the difficulty here is of vertical geometry and makes it its entire personality. But even if it doesn't quite hold up to Doom or Serious Sam despite being the same genre, this game is still a banger. A tier. I just realized how many games there actually are. I mean, I can't recall half of them. Does anyone remember New Brow? What the fuck is that? Bartender the Right Mix is about making the bartender drunk. Since it's thematic, I'll just give him the Polish special. As my grandfather has once said, na wyrewolwerowanym wzgórzu przy wyrewolwerowanym rewolwerowcu leży wyrewolwerowany rewolwer wyrewolwerowanego rewolwerowca. Amen, skurwysy.
Weird. That was just the appetizer.
Vodka, mint syrup, lemon, ice. Pretend I added something to make bubbles. Shake that shaker real good.
I swear I didn't use Polish proportions. Brother, that's just a burrito. Brother, that's just a burrito. Cool idea for a game, impressive for a flash game. Can burn a couple of minutes if you got nothing else to do. B tier. I would explain how Age of War works, but let's be honest, you already know. That or you're new to the internet, in which case, welcome aboard the racist pipeline. I'm your Captain Mars from Purely. I tried my best to win on the most difficult mode, and after hours, I discovered that the best way to, at least not lose, is to not advance at all. Wait, can I actually win without ever advancing? So, the game runs at about 5 frames per second, and most of my inputs get cast into the Shadow Realm, and that's without the units being visible, but when they... You've heard of 5 frames per second, but have you heard of 5 frames per minute? So the answer is no, you can't win without advancing, but it's the best setup for a win. It took over an hour of this FPS to finish the game, by the way. Beats you. Motherload takes place on Mars. I made this joke like 5 times this year. Don't tempt me, I'll do it again. This game is the healthy child to Genshin Impact player pipeline. You start with mining resources to get a better ship, to get better resources, to pull the gacha, and next thing you know, your wallet is 3 pulls short of getting raided, which is a constant according to the 4th law of thermodynamics. Google rated Rule 3-4 for more information. But Bernice and her furry companions aside, this game has a very simple grind loop, with bullshit mechanics like exploding earth that one-shots you, a warning sound so violent it gives flashbacks to your ancestors, and a storyline of being exploited by your own boss. Game's so real for that. His name is Neighbours, which is a totally normal... Holy shit, his name was Satan backwards. What I'm trying to say is, Motherload is a perfect example of how all you need for a good game is a great gameplay loop as its foundation, and then no matter how repetitive the game really is, it will still be fun for the entire duration of it. As the saying goes, less is more. I said to the starving hobo begging for my sandwich. When I recalled playing Contra, I realized that this was the first game I have ever played. Period. And now I'm no longer surprised as to why I'm treating difficulty in games like nicotine. This game is straight up the Japanese from 30 years ago saying, what if we made a game that's difficult for the sole purpose of making it difficult? What? Game is extremely punishing, and if you lose all lives, you restart from the beginning. Not the beginning of the stage, the beginning of the game. The main problem is that once you've played the first 2 stages, you've basically played the entire game. Contra already provides you with all possible power-ups from the start, and there's not much beside that. B tier. The World's Hardest Game is a title that is as accurate as the word intelligence in artificial intelligence. Hey, at least you're controlling a red square, not an investor bubble. Yeah, the game is self-explanatory. Not very interesting, not that difficult. AAAs, you should only remember the red square part. C tier. Man, fuck this game. This might be the most unique game on this list. That, or maybe it really is a sign that I should stop playing Dodge the Blowtorch with the family therapist. Phrozen Flame opens up with Killua from Hunter x Hunter exiting a test tube from another universe, where it turns out, holy shit, that's literally me, I play this guy. After which, we're subject to the most functional combat system. That is, if we're going by AAA standards. Dialogue that... Is that a Kool-Aid joke? Is the exploitable mini-games and random voiceovers that make the Nitro Family Russian actor sound well paid.
All I need is a little sacrifice from you and the children.
And worst of all, it might have at least to some extent, inspired the most popular furry game. So with that many flaws, you might be asking yourself, why the fuck would I put it in S tier? Well, just as I was about to dismiss this game as an elaborate joke to torture me specifically, yes, me specifically, the game hits you with the... am I playing the same game? How dare you put a cinematic experience in my shitpost RPG?
And that soundtrack fits this whole scene perfectly. This is art. Old times Roman font art. All this to say, to any haters out there, just know that I can draw the shut down galaxy symbol doing your mom. Don't try me.
Spoil this by saying that Sonic R would have been peak tier if its content wasn't the equivalent of PlayStation 5's game library. No games? Each character has their own unique movement mechanic. Each stage has a dozen secrets and even more ways to race through it, all coupled with satisfying controls. Too bad Sonic R has no game content. Fine, you only have 10 characters and 5 stages. That's it. That's the game. CT. On second thought, maybe I can overlook some of its flaws. And just like Sonic R, I'll cut this video short despite having more in the tank. Comment your social security number down below for part 2 in the next video, where we'll be settling once and for all who the real Ryan Gosling is. It's literally gonna be me.